Welcome to the Buffalo Futures Getting Ahead podcast, where we are centering youth voice to build a stronger support network for the youth in the community. I am your host, Leah Strong, and I'm here with a special co-host.
It's still me. Hello, everybody. You still got me. You still got me.
And we have two special guests at first for our first segment, and then we will have two youth also. And so our first guest will be Michelle Barron. She is the executive director for Dress for Success.
And then we also have Latisha Randle from Say Yes. She's a Fair Futures coach. So as we mentioned, we're going to be bringing influential women from Buffalo out to join the podcast this month.
Yes, because it is Women's History Month. And so, you know, we are in women empowerment. And so you're just going to hear a lot of women, okay? And y'all better be okay with that, period.
They got to be.
So, yeah. So let's get to y'all. How are y'all doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm well, excited.
Yes, me too.
Well, just in case if our audience isn't familiar with you ladies, we can start with you, Michelle. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay, my name is Michelle Barron, and I am the executive director of Dress for Success Buffalo. I took over the affiliate 10 years ago, so it was a rebuild. We had to start all over, rebuild everything from scratch. And we are an organization that provides women with programs, resources, and professional attire at no cost to enter the workforce. So basically, our organization is charged with helping women become self-sufficient. So when they become self-sufficient, then, they're able to take care of their families. And then we, get them on the road of financial freedom. So that's pretty much what we're charged with doing. Exciting work, and I love what I do.
Definitely.
Period.
Yes.
As you should.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Latisha Randle. I'm a Fair Futures coach with Say Yes Buffalo. I love it there. I work with youth ages 13 to 18 in kinship care, and then ages 13 to 21 in foster care. I'm also the CEO of Create Your Own Destiny mindset coaching and consulting company, and I just created my own vision board clip art book. It's called Today and Beyond, and
that's dope.
I think
Don't
everybody
get into that.
Pardon me?
I said we're going to get into
Yes,
that.
I think everybody should have a vision board.
Yes.
But yeah, so I love what I do. It's my passion, working with the youth. I've been working with youth over 20 years, and I like working with adults, so I'm a helper.
We're happy to have both of you ladies here. Thank you for all your work that you're doing in our community.
Yes.
So,
So just like a nice little fun question, like if you could go travel anywhere in the world for 5 days, like all exclusive, fully paid for, you don't gotta do nothing. They like pay for the flight and the resort, all of it. Where would you go
Me first?
for 5 days? Yeah.
Africa. So
Ooh.
Egypt. Yeah. The pyramids.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That'll be nice.
Definitely.
I'm an island girl, so probably Turks and Caicos.
Mm.
do I get the answer?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Why not?
Yeah, what
Right.
you gonna do?
Mine would be Africa as well. And Africa is so large, so it's like I don't know how many places I can get to in 5 days.
Right.
So if I could do like 5 days and I go to Ghana and then I go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So mine would be most definitely Africa. How about
Yeah.
you?
I don't know why I'm like stuck in an Atlanta phase. So Atlanta is still
We just came from Atlanta.
We just came from there and I'm still stuck. Y'all, I done been there 3 times in the last like 8 months.
Wow.
I'm gonna move there. I don't know. I feel like Atlanta's the place to be. But for 5 days, and then like I'm gonna have a nice car. I don't gotta pay for the gas. It's all gonna be fun.
Well, it's your trip, so I ain't going.
You know what I mean?
We was just there.
We was. I don't know. Atlanta got it going on. We got to travel there more often.
I like Atlanta too.
You
Not
know,
alone.
For 5 days? Like as your getaway?
for some reason, I don't know why, but it got to be.
Because you like it. You like the
Yeah.
It's a
She
vibe.
ain't trying to get
It's
away.
a
She's
vibe.
trying to get it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get in. There's places to be, people to see. I'm like,
Right.
I be seeing like, like a lot of influencers. I'm like, they in Atlanta. If I could just get to Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, yes.
Hi everyone, my name is Terrell Mason. I'm the Senior Director of Buffalo Futures. Just here to shout out one of our sponsors, Tech Buffalo. Tech Buffalo is a nonprofit organization that strives to create sustainable, inclusive, and accessible technology community here in West New York. By doing so, by improving our region's ability to attract, retain, and foster technology talent. We really want to thank them for their generosity and for donating into Buffalo Futures and helping us to continue this work. And so to find out more information about Tech Buffalo and some of the opportunities they have, please visit techbuffalo.org.
Well, that'll be a part of your journey. Speaking of journeys, if you ladies could just tell us what are some important lessons you learned on your journey, and how do you think those lessons shaped you?
Well, I think that as women, we have to collaborate. We have to network. We have to pay it forward. We have to open doors for all of the women or young ladies that are coming up that are in the same industry, and be resourceful. And I think that's really important. I know that my journey was a little bit different, but I know that I created a network around women supporting other women, because I felt like it was something that was missing, and we need each other. We need all of our counterparts. We need the guys too. But as women, I think that we need to be more aligned. We need that, and I consider myself an OG. So there's a lot that there's a lot of things that I've gone through that I can share, with younger women, that's coming up in the corporate world or not-for-profit world, whatever it is, So I think that supporting each other should be a universal language. I think it should be something that we just do automatically, because there's room for everybody.
Yes,
everybody.
It is. Yes.
I agree 100% with what she said. I feel like we're stronger together. As women, it's important for us to stick together and to learn from one another. I feel that it's okay to agree and disagree and still be okay, and to communicate with one another for clarity, because we get, sometimes communication or, things that are said get misconstrued. And if women stick together and, communicate effectively, then that can help us to move forward, learn from one another, create, build, network, like you said, and just be open to new ideas. I've definitely learned that life is a struggle. Being a woman and having to wear all these different hats.
Yes.
It's like, I'm going to fix your crown. Can you fix mine? It's important for us to fix each other's crowns and to not look down on one another, and to not be so judgmental, but speak life. And that's what I do. I speak life.
Yes. Most definitely.
Yeah, I heard this like saying it's like the struggle is real, but it's not permanent. And so it's like, we gonna go through some things. Yeah,
I ain't heard the not permanent part, but that's true.
Right? It's like this. It's gonna happen. We gonna go through some stuff, but it's not permanent. And so as long as you can get through this and then like stick together, women.
How great is that?
You know what I mean? And then it's like too. And when I'm like younger, and then like if we can stick together, I can learn from like older women. That's perfect. Like you leading the next generation. So I think that's good. But so how did you like start pursuing like this career or this passion that you are in?
I have been working with youth, like I said, for over 20 years. So I started with foster care and kinship care, working in foster care years ago. And when I got the opportunity to go to Say Yes, and I'm already a life coach, so I'm like, I can coach kids too. So that's how I got into this career. I'm thankful because I got a lot of different tools and new tools to use, and to add underneath my belt, to help the youth as well. So I think I got the best of both worlds. I can help adults, I can help youth.
Oh, that's real good.
It's my passion.
For me, I worked in development for 15 years. So working in economic development and working with small businesses, but my focus was really women-owned businesses. So wanting to see them succeed, but also something that we didn't talk about in that last question is about being prepared for the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of people want to just jump in and they're not prepared. And I think that a lot of what I did in my 15-year of working in development prepared me when I transitioned into the not-for-profit world, because now it goes back to what I said earlier about networking and collaborating. So I was able to use all of the resources and all of the people that I knew in development and say, hey, you know, I'm taking over this affiliate, and I've never worked in the not-for-profit, you know, world before, but I need your help, you know, and can you point me in the right direction? Can you, you know, connect me with this person for funding, or, you know, or another person just as a resource. So I think that, again, everything, it all comes full circle, like, you know, the basics of, you know, being prepared for opportunities and, you know, I think that's what we really need to focus on, because a lot of people jump in and they don't really know what they're jumping into.
Exactly.
And, you know, social media can play a lot of tricks.
Oh, yes.
Say that.
yes.
It can play a lot of tricks on people, you know. They make you think it's one way, and for real.
I can do that. That look easy.
Yeah.
Right. Until you get in. Yeah. You actually doing it.
It's like a lot of DIY, and you really can't do it.
Yeah. Like you're really not a chef.
Well, that's that mindset, you know, like master your mindset. What is it really that, you know, what is your passion? And if you're not a chef, then what other, you know, avenues can we, you know, look at?
I think definitely the word is be prepared, because even with, I mean, as you just develop, so Leah and her stages, me and my stages, you and your stages, it's like you have to be prepared for it, where it's like, I can, you know, as women, we can do it. I can do anything, which is true. I can, but I just don't want to show up like I could do this, and then I'm not prepared. And now you're looking at, and I don't want to, not that it's right, but it's like when you step out, you're representing all women. So it's like if I step in a position where maybe you don't usually see women, and then I go in this position unprepared, it's like, see, I should have known. We should have just stuck it with the way. So it's like you got to think of it as making sure you're making space for the next to come in. So it's definitely key to be prepared when you're stepping into anything. So I want to go just back because we were talking about networking. Sometimes it can be hard, you know, people be like, you know, well, who should I talk to? How do I walk up to somebody and ask them for that advice? Or what do I say when I'm networking? So my question would be like, how would you recommend someone to like align themselves with like the right kind of company in regards to like having that network of women? Just to be prepared. Maybe I see you in a position that, or maybe you just finished a position that I'm interested in. Like, how would you recommend for them to align themselves or even approach someone with like networking?
So I think that, so there's two ways. So if you're attending a networking event, right, you don't really know who's in the room. So you canvass the room, but you really don't know who these people are, right? So you have to just work the room, you know, and just the introduction of, you know, my name is Michelle Barron. I'm the executive director of Dress for Success Buffalo. What do you do? And then you just, you know, strike a conversation. You see how the conversation goes and do the follow-up. But I can tell you this, that when I took over Dress for Success, again, I didn't know anything about the not-for-profit world, right? I just knew that I knew that I was passionate about women, right? And I knew that I wanted to see other women succeed. But what I did was I watched other people in the not-for-profit sector, right? And I watched how they moved. and I watched who was funding their projects, right?
Gotta
so
watch the
then
money.
you gotta watch you gotta watch the money.
Mhm.
So I would watch how they moved, and then I would see those same people at an event, and then I would make the introduction.
Mhm.
You know, I'm Michelle Barron. I run Dress for Success. We're not for profit. You know, we have volunteer opportunities. You know, whatever my pitch is, whatever. So then now we can start talking about how do you create your pitch. You know, but that pitch has to be different. You got to be able to, you know, move and shake at any point in time. Like you got to be able to switch it up.
Yeah.
So I would say that networking is critical. You don't have to attend every event, but you know, if you trust the people that invite you to an event, they know that if I call you and say, hey, I want you to attend this event, it's because I know that the right people are going to be in that room and it will be a resource for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was gonna say, I think it's important to follow up too, because like I'm in that stage. I love networking. I'm always networking, but sometimes I'm guilty of not following up, and that's one of the most important things. So, you know, I make sure I let the youth know, like, okay, even if you're nervous, try and, you know, find a way to, you know, introduce yourself. And it's important, like, to prepare them to be able to speak to someone else and not be afraid. So networking for me, it comes easy because I am a resource and I just love resourcing people. So,
Yeah.
So for young women or women that like are going through that and trying to network and then like talking to all the people, but they ain't getting no, like they following up, but ain't getting no callbacks, ain't getting no email backs. Like, how would you encourage those women not to give up?
How would I encourage them not to give up? I would because I'm motivational speak. So I would speak with them and ask them where they are, what are they doing. Let's do some research on, you know, how to gain access to certain people. And again, it depends on what it is. I mean, you know, like I got a student, I always use this story with her. She wants to be a lawyer, right? And she don't come from a family, you know, of lawyers. But I told her, well, let's do some research. What kind of lawyer do you want to be? You know, how long is it going to take? You know, what school? And so I'm going to take her and have her meet some people in the law department at the school and, you know, just venture, right? So I think it's important for us to let them know, like, to let our youth know to never give up. Because in this life, like when you were saying, you know, the struggle is, what'd you say?
Real, but not permanent. The
struggle is real, but not permanent. And that's the thing. We all go through struggles, but it's like, how do you get through? And the most important thing is not to stay there because this life is, you know, a roller coaster. No matter how rich you are, how poor you are, how much money you got, where you come from, it's about staying diligent and understanding that you can live life, you know, to the fullest, but live life on life terms, you know, by pushing and getting the resources and understand that you can grow, right? Because some people, you know, you can't act like you know everything. No, I don't know everything. Please teach me. Exactly. And that's another thing. When you're not prepared, we have to ask, help me, you know, so it's important for us to help one another all the time, though, all the time. You know, but don't be used in a bad way, right?
Yeah,
because you have that going on, especially.
That's key. That's key. That's key.
So
because people see you like, oh, she shaking, she moving. One thing that Jarrell always says is like, no one's getting on a train that ain't moving.
Yeah.
So it's like if a train's moving, you know, here we go. Wait for me. Right. So it's definitely that's definitely key. Make sure that you know you're not being used, but you still wanna. Make sure you got that open door.
Basically. The open door.
That open door.
Yeah. Oh, same for me.
Yeah.
I think mentorship is critical, and I think that that you know sometimes you may not be able to make that phone call, but your mentor will be able to make that phone call, and your mentor may be the one that has the most access. So it's really having access to the room, right? And I mean, whatever that room is and whomever's in that room, it's about having access. So you know, if I was your mentor and you said that to me, then the first thing I would do is, you know, it's as easy as making a phone call, not a text, you know, but like picking up the phone call and saying, hey, you know, my mentee, you know, she's been reaching out to you. I know you're busy, you know, but can you give her a call back? Because, you know, that's encouragement, because that could discourage you, right? If you do reach out to somebody and they don't, you know, follow up, or they don't respond back to you, then that may, you know, you may feel a certain kind of way, like, I reached out to this person and I'm really trying, but you know, I'm not getting any type of traction, you know, from this person. But I think mentorship is really, I think it's critical. I think we, you know, as women, don't you think so? I think that we need it.
I didn't mention that. I wear many hats. I agree with that.
I think we need to mentor, and I think, and I think mentor mentee relationships. Like I have several mentees, and you know, they call me, I'm the OG. So then when they, you know, when they want advice, I can, but I don't have their shared experiences, because you know, my path was different from their path, but you know, but we're still all like in the struggle together. You know, although your path may be different from my path.
Right.
I worked in development. You may not have worked in development. Maybe your whole career may be not for profit. This second chapter of my life is all dedicated to the not for profit work. You know, what can I do to help the women in the community? The men, you know, I can't do it all. And then that's
we love y'all though.
You got to know that you can't do it all.
That's one of the hard pills to swallow, because it's like, I got this.
No, you can have it, but you can't do it all.
That's true.
You got to be able to, you got to position yourself and be able to say no. Because no will free you. And then it will free you. And then it gives you, you know, and then it creates other opportunities for you to focus on the things that you need to be focusing on for your career. You guys are young. So, you know, you have like your whole lives ahead of you. So you may, you know, you may go to Atlanta and you may rock out in Atlanta for 5 years and then be like, oh, I'm coming back to Buffalo. Or I'm moving here because I want to do X, Y, and Z. So you have your whole lives ahead of you. But I think that as long as you have a good foundation and you know, like your mindset is where it's supposed to be, and you have people that you can reach out to when things get a little shaky, you'll be good.
Yeah. I think it's important to, like, if you fall, you know, learn from
your mistakes.
The mistakes. And what did Denzel Washington say? If you fall forward. So when you get up, you can look up. You know, and then take it as an opportunity. Don't fail and then think, you know, it's the end of the world. I've been there. It's not the end of the world.
No. Right.
It's not. You can keep pushing and keep, you know, going, you know, and making your dreams and your goals come true.
Yeah,
you know?
that's definitely true. So it's like, so for me, it's like the things that I know now. So like, it's easier to be like, you know, pick yourself up. But if you think back,
when you're in it,
it's this is never gonna end. I don't know how I got in this position.
Oh
like I'm never gonna get out of it. Like you know, and then you even say I ain't gonna never be in this position again. You know, you're gonna be like, I get over here again. So just with that, like if you could give your younger self some advice, if you could just, you know, any younger self, it could be last year younger self. Like if you could give any version of your younger self some advice, what would be the advice that you would give?
I would say, thank you, my younger self, to be bold, to not hold your feelings on your sleeve, because people will yank at that sleeve and yank at those feelings, and be yourself. People are gonna love you, and some people aren't, and that's just life. You know, sometimes I have that Messiah complex, or that, you know, oh, if I had a magic wand, everything would be great. There would be no racism, no hate, no, you know, disease and all that stuff. But in actuality, that's not realistic. So I had to tell myself that, because I used to, I want to help this person, I want to help this person, I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I was draining myself. And so it's important to make sure that you got to pour back into yourself when you're pouring out. make sure that you're filling your cup back up, and you have a tribe of people too. Because when you're going through, when I was going through, or whenever I go through, I can pray, of course, but I got people I can call on that's going to give me some uplifting and some encouraging words and speak life to me as I speak life to them. So that's the importance of just being, or that we're stronger together.
They say you can't pour out of an empty cup. So
No,
it's like you gotta keep filling yourself.
Right.
All of us empty and all of us thirsty. Who feeling us?
Okay.
Like the good Lord, what?
Right. Where you coming from?
What do you think, Michelle?
My younger self. Oh boy, like what age?
That's what I said. Whatever, wherever younger self, because I know who I was last year. This ain't Tiara. So
I
said whatever.
My young adult, like my professional career. Because there's not a lot. I'll say this: there's not a lot I would change, or tell. What I would tell myself is, Michelle, you know what, you made it through, and like you're gonna go down this road. This is what I would tell my younger self. You're gonna go down this road. This road is gonna be bumpy, and it's gonna have twists and turns. And you're gonna sense a lot of friendship, but some betrayal, right? But you're gonna make it through. You're gonna, like, when you get on the other side of it, like, it's going to be so much greater, And so I say that from my personal experience. I had a job, I was fired, it was public, and I never, when I got fired, I never thought that I would be sitting here doing a podcast, right? Because all I knew was that at that point in time, I'm fired, it's public. How am I going to get out of this? And then, but I stayed, as long as you stay true to who you are, right? And you have that foundation, so I had a great support system. I had a family that supported me. So it was easy for me to transition into the life that I have now. And the life that I have now, I can take all of those experiences, little bits and pieces of it. You know what I mean? Like little bits and pieces of it. And then I can pour it into each client that, comes into my doors. I'm able to share certain things with them that somebody else may not, because I've been through it. You know what I mean? But I think that, whatever you're going through right now as a young professional, you're going to get through it. And you're going to be amazing on the other side of it. And just making sure that you surround yourself with the right people, and like your crew is your crew. You like seriously, your crew is your crew. And my crew, I've known since I was 14.
Oh wow,
I'm on
it's
that
my
same
crew.
path.
So you got and so then when things get shaky, you always have your friends. And the friends that check you when things are good, and they'll check you when things aren't so good, right? So
because you can't, the yes men or yes women. That's not doing you any
Please
good.
make me accountable.
Like yes, please.
Accountability.
Yes,
and just know I'm gonna hold you accountable. So
and
it ain't gotta be it ain't. It's not like you judging me or you none of that. But that's what you mean. Your crew is your crew. Your crew understands that I'm not coming at you because I want you to feel bad. I'm coming at you because I love you.
Exactly.
So I feel like that's one thing where it's like we have to understand that, like, I love you. I love you.
Yes.
I love you. I love you.
Sisterhood.
So it's like
Sisterhood.
it's just the having that understanding that it's love behind what I'm saying to you. It's love behind the fact that, like, you could do that, or no, that job ain't for you. Let them go.
Right.
So I just felt like making sure they understand, like, I love you.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
If I could add, like, as we go through this journey, I've experienced, like, God will put the right people in your life at the right time. Yes, you have your crew, but you will meet people because God knows. I have met people that has helped me and lifted me up along the way. And it's amazing because when you're going through, you like, oh, why? Like you said, or am I going to get through? And the next thing you know, hear some person
Mm-hmm.
out of nowhere, and it's like, oh my God, thank you. Like, you
Yes.
could, wow, you know?
Yeah.
And when it's genuine, when you're authentic, it just, the universe, God works for you.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I would definitely tell a young lady or even a young man, like, go through, and God will surround you with the people and the resources that you need to accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish, you know?
And failure is necessary.
It is.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
have to fail.
Mhm.
Like, there's just no way
Mhm.
around it. Like, failure prepares you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in ways that, you know, you will never learn failure in your college courses, right? You could flunk a course, but I'm talking about real failure. You know, like when you lose your job, right? And you think, okay, what am I going to do to, you know, like, how am I going to pick myself back up?
Mhm.
You know,
Yes.
so failure is necessary because
It is.
it will always, if you're smart and if you're strategic about it, it will prepare you for the next opportunity.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Definitely
Ooh.
true.
Felt
Okay.
that. I felt that, Michelle.
Mhm.
So,
You did?
For real.
you had talked about like making sure like your foundation was straight and everything, and like if you build a strong foundation, then like you'll be set. So how would you balance like how do you balance like your work, like your career, your life, and the fun, like making sure you got your crew
Yeah.
and your friends, and then your passions, like all in one while like you're still okay? Like, is there anything like such as balance, or do you feel like life is all the time everywhere and you just got to fit in and get in where you fit in?
For me, so I think for me, there's like different layers of it. So number one, I'm a caregiver, right? So that's number one. So
Mhm.
that's my number one priority.
Mhm.
But I have a support system. So
Mhm.
there's the foundation, right? Because I have a support system. So then that allows me to go out and do the work, right? Because we all got to eat. So you can't, you know, I'm not going to be able to work my business and fund it and get people to fund it if I'm at home. That's not going to work.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so then there's that, right? So I make, you know, I have time where that's it. Like I'm at work, I'm doing this, and then, you know, my friends and I, we plan an annual trip because we all live in different, you know, parts of the country or whatever. So that's our time together.
Mhm.
But then my friends that are here, you know, which are also a part of that trip, you know, we get together when we can. We make time for each other. So I think you know this. I mean, we all know this. You make time for the things that you really want to do.
Mhm.
But you always got to have that balance. You know, and it's different for everybody because everybody's not a
is.
caregiver. You know, I am, but everybody's not an entrepreneur. I don't have a 9 to 5. So, you know, it's different for everybody.
Mhm.
I would just say, yeah, it's different for everybody. I think it's important to, you know, when you build that foundation that, you know, is solid. And even though, like, when you build it in the solid, there's still things that come your way. So, like, being able to balance life is hard, or it can be. It depends, again, like, you know, who it is, how you look at it. But I believe in self-care heavy. Self-care,
Definitely.
self-care, self-care. And if you can't afford some self-care, make up some self-care
Yeah.
at home.
Come on.
You
Yeah.
know, I believe in that. And what I do is my passion. So I love working with the kids. So when I'm not at home, when I'm not at work working with the kids, I'm at home working with my daughter. She's 14, and then all her friends. So, you know, I'm like the chauffeur and the Uber, the taxi,
Yeah.
the mentor. I'll be in the car talking to them, you know, just on and on and on. But it's what I do. So it's a passion for me. So just, I know, wrapping it all up. Work is work, right? And I have to be able to turn that off. But I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. So I work, I do what I need to do at work, but then when I'm off work, I need to do what I need to do for my family or, you know, et cetera. Because I'm a caregiver helper, you know, I have my mom, et cetera. So it's just important to make sure you don't forget about you. While we're pouring out and doing everything for everybody else.
Definitely.
You know, don't forget about yourself.
Yeah. So I feel like you guys, both of you have definitely given us a lot Like you dropped a lot of knowledge. I
Mhm.
feel empowered.
Aw.
Yeah, definitely.
Me too. So I'm gonna ask you guys one more question. I'm gonna ask y'all one more question before we leave, and I feel like this is an important one.
Okay.
What advice would you give to the next young female generation that's gonna be leaders?
Wow.
You speaking to me?
Okay. I would say be excited about the future.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I just go back to being prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Like be prepared for every opportunity, right? If it's something that you want to do, be prepared. I will also say make sure that you have a mentor. If you don't have one, get a mentor. Have somebody, even if it's not in an official capacity, make sure that you have someone that you could just reach out to and say, hey, I'm having a bad day. What do you think about this? Or I'm having a great day. This happened. So I think that we have to make sure that as the older generation of women that are in leadership positions, that we have to pay it forward and we have to crack that door open for you guys.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yes, thank you. She's speaking to me too. I would say the same thing. Definitely get a mentor, and don't be afraid of change and feeling uncomfortable. Because when you feel uncomfortable, know that a breakthrough is coming. Know that you're closer to whatever goal it is. And then when you get one goal and you complete that, right? When you get to that one goal and you complete it, move forward. And now, what is your next goal? What are you doing with your life, and what do you want to do? And who you want to be, and be that. And just know that that you can do it, and just believe in yourself. That's the most important thing, to believe in yourself. No matter what anybody says, keep pushing. Don't let nothing stop you. Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
That was good.
Yes.
Like, it just spoke to my whole heart.
Me too.
I'm coming up.
Absolutely, you always got to be open to continue to learn. So
Yes,
it's like,
yes.
teach me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please teach me.
Please. So whether
Yes.
you're an OG or not, wherever,
Right.
I want to soak it in.
Come on.
Right.
I want to soak it in. You got
Yes.
space for another mentee?
I have space for. Listen, I'm a phone call away.
Okay.
Come on.
Well, that's good to know.
That's good. You know what I mean? Women empowerment.
Yes. That's what
love
this is all
it. I love
about. So
it.
we're going to keep the women empowerment going, even though, March is ending.
Yes.
But this is
No, you got to keep this going. You got to keep this going.
Keep it going. Well, I appreciate you guys joining with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you. You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
Great job
for having us. Yes.
And everyone, get ready in a short second for our youth guest. She will be coming on soon.
Hi, my name is Joe Mason. I'm the Senior Director of Buffalo Futures. I'm here just to shout out one of our sponsors, Best Self Behavioral Health, which is actually the largest mental health, behavioral health agency here in West New York, with a host of programs ranging from adolescents to senior age, over 90 different programs in 70 locations. I just want to thank them for their generosity to Buffalo Futures, as well as to myself and the community. For more information, please see bestselfwny.org.
Okay, y'all. So we are back, and me and Tiara switched spots a bit.
Yeah. Give me your throne back. Give me your throne back.
I am crying. So we have a member of our Youth Advisory Council. This is Randle Hundley. Randle.
Hi, everybody.
Bookie, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
How about
Okay,
you?
I'm doing well. So for the people who don't know about you, tell us more about yourself and how you are involved with Buffalo Futures. And I see you got on merch.
You know I
see
had to
she's
wear my
a rep.
hoodie
That's exclusive
Period.
merch for our
Period.
youth council. Exclusive merch.
Yeah. You got to be a leader on the youth council to get some nice swag like that.
Yeah.
Okay, but tell us.
So I'm Randle, like you said. I'm 21. I'm a manager at Boost Mobile. I graduated from Hutch Tech High School. Tech, you know what I'm saying?
Period.
I enjoy a lot. I love working with people, even in just my regular job, activating phones and stuff.
Right.
I interact with so many different people. So that's what I like, to just interact and help people overall.
So how'd you get involved with Buffalo Futures?
My little brother introduced me into the program,
Yes.
actually. I'm not gonna lie, at first I'm like, I don't know. He's like, no, you should really come and see about it. So then that's when I sat with y'all and I was like, okay, I like it. So
Yeah. We like that.
I'm glad I joined, because this is really good, y'all. family feel,
Right.
welcoming, and I just love the whole mission of the group.
Yeah.
So
We love you too. And I remember when you first sat in, I was like, they just gonna, it was virtual.
Yeah.
I said they just gonna have their own conversation while we having our meeting.
Y'all
But it's
be
okay.
talking.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, who's this person?
Yeah.
Mikey, what you doing?
Okay, so real deal spiel though. So like living in Buffalo and being a young woman in Buffalo, do you feel safe? And if not, like what can Buffalo or us or anybody in leadership do to change that?
Do I feel safe? I would say yes and no, just because it's just so much stuff that goes on every day. I
Right.
see so much. Like,
Yeah.
even just like I said, interacting with people at the store.
Uh-huh.
They come in and they'll tell me their whole life story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, it make you weary of certain things. But
Mm-hmm.
I recently had a friend pass away
Mm-hmm.
from being in an Uber.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
And so the whole thing with that, like seeing a lady who was like, I'll do ride shares. Like if you need a ride, I'm here for that. That was really something that made me feel safe. Just for other people, because I drive. But just knowing that there's somebody out there that is willing to, I'll take you to wherever you gotta go. Because I'm that person too. Somebody need a ride. Like, yeah, of course I'll take you.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and just in my environment, you get people that sometimes they don't come off, you never know what people are going through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say just being open, because being safe,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like you're safe where you're comfortable at.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's a hard question. But
No, that's understandable though.
things we could change. Sorry.
Mhm.
I don't know, just more supervision for young people who are riding a bus every day or just being outside with their friends. Like, we need to be more attentive and paying attention to what our people our age are doing.
Yeah.
Surrounding yourself with the right people or just being in tune, because it's so much stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
I see like just a lot going on.
No, that's real. And because like I'm new to, I always say like I'm new to Buffalo because I'm still learning around these parts. But because of stuff like, mind you, all I did was live in Niagara Falls, right? But this is a whole nother thing, because like the times like when y'all would tell me the stories, even in the office, I'm just like, what you mean Buffalo got that going on?
Yeah.
Why do I gotta watch? And no, for real though, being safe, y'all, I can tell y'all, I went to Family Dollar on Paley. I'm not a Buffalo native. Went there and someone almost ran into me. Someone was ran into my car. They had stole out the thing. I said, why ain't nobody tell me about this Bailey store?
Yeah.
Why no one trying to help me out? Like, why I gotta find this? I'm just like, it was terrible out here. And then it's like, now we got some stuff like with the mall too.
Yeah.
Like, kids can't go to the mall past a certain hour unless you gotta go with parents. Like, it's not really safe out here.
It's not.
Yeah, I would say that's true, but I feel like as we talked about before, having just leaning on each other. So even you already kind of touched on it right now, where it's like being more attentive. So it's like, a lot of times it's like, oh, I just want to mind my business, but like if you see something, especially if it's a younger individual, like we just got to look out for each other, especially as women and young women. We just look out for each other, and I feel like we'll be good. Just look out for each other. And I want to move forward without saying, I'm sorry for your loss. I didn't know that was your friend.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Thank you.
But yeah, I would say just make sure we are, sticking together and looking out for each other, not just as women, but just as a community.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely key.
Another thing I wanted to add to that being safe is exposing where children could go.
That's real good.
These different places where you could spend your time instead of being outside. Because it's so many kids I see every day. I'm like, oh, well, why you didn't go to school today? They be like, oh, because I just got suspended for such and such. Oh, what did your parents say about, I'm always asking, like, what did they say about that? So I think if we had more open spaces for children to spend most of their time where they think it's fun and interactive and they can learn, then we could
So it sounds like a place I know.
What's that place?
right here at Buffalo Future,
Period.
45 Oak Street in the hub, okay?
Yes.
Period. A nice little hub space, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, not to just shout us out of there, but like we got a whole PS5 in there. So you said fun. Like we got fun.
Yeah.
Like you could have been at home, but like why don't you come to the office? And then like have a tournament. You know what I mean? We're going to be having so much things in the summer, too. I ain't going to give you a whole spiel now. But we about to get it up. And even the office, like, just being able to do your work in there, just listen to whatever you got to listen to. Mind you, we play music all throughout the office. It ain't just like a boring space. It's lounge. We going to have some covers in there, pillows. You do what you got to do. Some people do.
Snacks.
Oh, my gosh.
We love snacks.
Yeah.
That snack closet get raided. Now, everybody just can't come in here and want the snacks now because we saying it. But it do be getting raided. And like our youth come in there and they'll take a nap in between the class.
True.
We the place for whatever you need.
Yeah.
Needs is where we got it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So right now you would say you currently work at Boost Mobile. So what is something that you always wanted to do that you're either working on or gonna continue to work on in the future?
Continue to work on in the future. I do want to end up working in a school.
Okay.
I'm not sure what position. I always thought about being like, I love history. I always thought about doing a history teacher, or I studied psychology when I was in school for a while. I love psychology. So like any type of counseling, because I did realize that about myself. A lot of people can just come and talk to me. And I really appreciate that, because it's like, I'm glad you're comfortable with saying that to me, you know? So, what I'm working on now that I want to do is start up my brand. I'm calling it On Point 716.
Okay.
Period.
So when I officially get that down, that's what I'm really excited for what I want to do with that.
Okay.
I just want to be.
We could talk offline what that is, so you can give us some more details.
Give us.
Okay.
Yeah, but other than that, yeah. Right now, I could say the stage that I'm in my life right now is I'm working on getting closer with God. I've been more attentive with going to church. I'm the president of my choir.
Period.
You know, I do the praise team.
You do be singing. She be singing in that office. I said, wait, is that right there? We be having a meeting. Is that, who is that?
Yeah.
Not like Beyonce or something.
Well, you can say that. But yeah, that's my overall focus. Travel, see more people, meet more people. I just love working with people. Like, I don't know, just interaction with everyday people. It's like what I like, what I love.
Okay, so what do you feel like people most misunderstand about us as young women?
I would say most misunderstood. Probably that I can't fend for myself. I say certain things I want to do. Sometimes I'm like, well, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. You know, like just being just being sure. And I would say,
no, but like I understand what you mean though.
You know
like
what I'm saying?
People always like older women is like they try to ask us clarifying questions or just try to ask us too much about like and making sure that we know what we're about to do is a big task or something.
Right.
And it's like, no, but I'm gonna put my head to it. And like as we were saying, like whatever we gonna put our mind to, we gonna do.
That's what I'm gonna do.
And you know what I mean? So not just like trying to like, I don't know, put us down a bit. And it's like, oh well, do you really think you could do that?
Right. Like
so I understand.
I think if I thought I think so, yeah. Like that's how I feel. Something else I would say misunderstood about us is just how we carry ourselves. Just because of how social media is now today, everybody thinks, oh, every girl might be the same or might carry herself the same, but it's not everybody is the same. And I think that's what we gotta like work on distinguishing between ourselves.
Yeah, too. It's like we was talking on social media. Like it's like you could say we could do this one thing, but really at home, you ain't looking like, you know what I mean? Or ain't even cooking like, acting like, talking like.
Yeah.
Want to be like.
You know what I mean? It ain't nothing like how you supposed to be. So because of the way that, and we talked about this a few times on here, like the way that social media portrays it as we should be as people, or even in our stages in life, like as young women right now, you see, like I know Marseille, like I love that girl, like on all the TV shows, and it's like she had just became like the first female, like youngest, or the youngest like producer.
Yeah.
And like as a young woman, and it's like, but now that's like the thing that all young women should be somewhere in TV and everybody. And it's like, we're all young women in different stages of our life right now. We do not need to be wherever. And the thing is, we love Marseille down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She is so, you know what I mean?
Beautiful, yes.
Oh my gosh, I know. We love that
young
for
and inspiring.
her.
Yeah.
And the thing is, but who does she do? She inspires us. Like, no. So that means we know where we can go. You know what I mean? But we do not all need to be there at that age.
That's a good point.
And still feel successful in our life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's like it too. Like, no, social media will make you feel like you are not where you need to be because you're not where they are.
Right.
Exactly.
In which we all on my mom say, to each his own path.
Yeah.
To each his own path. So, yeah.
That's true.
That's true. So I would just say, like, we talked about working and going into different paths and things that you want to do. So if we took like the fact that, because we did our financial literacy class, the first part of the 4-part series on Wednesday. So we wrote down all of our dollars that we be spending.
Too many dollars.
Yeah, too many dollars. But if you took money out the equation, what would you be doing? Like, where would you be at if you didn't have to worry about like all them things you wrote down on a piece of paper that you be spending the money on?
If I didn't have to, doing? I'd definitely be. If money was not a factor in any of this, I'd be outside doing everything. Okay, everything. That's what I'm saying. Because like, money is really the root to all evil. Like, it'll really have you stressed. But I understand, because like, you got so much stuff you want to buy, stuff you want for yourself. So you like, I gotta work. And I've got to a point where it's like, okay, I'm low-key tired of working.
I'm high-key tired
and
of
I'm
working.
too young to be tired of working.
Gosh, way too young to be tired.
I
gotta get up and make money to provide. Exactly. That's how Jarrell was saying. And then it's gonna look like this. Like, no, provide for myself.
Yeah.
Girl, we too young. Where's the providers?
I know it. Mom.
Hello.
Am I still your baby? Let me stop.
What you need.
You know, then they be there to the rescue. Like, where you at? What you need? An Uber, money, car, food, all of it in the above. Just send something somewhere over here.
Definitely. So, one thing I will say, you said you was getting closer to God. I feel like with that journey, you'll understand that the stress of the money, it'll go away. At least for me, it has. Because I'll be like, I got bills. I got this. I got that. Yeah. But I got the Lord. Amen. So I feel like just, keep on that journey and it'll take you there. I say we talk about money. So what's another one we got for the question?
For the money?
Yeah, for the money.
Oh, like if you won the lottery, right? Like, how would you spend it, like, for women's empowerment, right? But the thing is, you got to remember, if you do want to spend it on yourself, you is still women's empowerment. Yeah. You is still women's empowerment. So
she had the disclaimer for self, but answer the question. So
what do you think, though?
Okay. I'd probably provide a space for just, because even I had an interaction the other day. I went to the hair store and it was a young lady outside. She, you could tell she wasn't all the way with herself, but it just touched me because she was like, can you help me? And sometimes I'll be like, I can't help you today, but I actually had it. Like, I was having a good day. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let me, she was like, yeah, like, I just need some help. I'm like, how old are you? She was like, I'm 25. I'm like, wow, you older than me. And like, it's just like, it kind of made me sad. Like, wow. Like, so if we could just provide just a space for women, I know we got like the city mission downtown and stuff, but somewhere we focus on these people to get them whatever kind of cater to their needs, like for real. That's what I would do with like lottery, is put it into a something like
To the
that.
community.
Say for myself too,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but without self.
Yeah. Well, actually, what would you do if you won the lottery? To help women's empowerment.
So same thing, back into the community. I talked about it before, like the work that I do now with the community is definitely passion. Like I don't want to do anything else outside of cooking. So I would definitely
That'll be a way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I would just say I would definitely put money back into the community. So just being able to be that person behind the dollar to say like, hey, it ain't as many. I understand that we don't need so many restrictions on dollars that you give that's supposed to help our community. I understand like maybe a youth might not be able to get a specific document, but you could clearly see they're in this position and they need help. So I would definitely put money back into my community. And yeah, I would be outside. I'll find somebody that's gonna make sure that's gonna follow the vision. But I'm gonna be outside. We talked about my exclusive trip. I'm gonna be all up and through Africa.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I would definitely
gotta touch down there one day.
Yeah.
No, for real.
So what
I
about
would
you
go
if
there.
you won the lottery?
And to help with women's empowerment.
Yeah.
No. So when I told her like on here before, like I wanted to do a house, like because like I was like the house, like I was the Buffalo Futures for my friends and stuff. So I want to do like a house now in general, regardless if I win the lottery or not. That house gonna be seen. Y'all gonna see it. But like as we see, I forgot what is the one house that's like in Niagara Falls. It's the Casey house, and like that's where they house like the youth that like cannot no longer decide to live with their parents.
Okay.
Or they homeless, they don't have no one to stay with or anything like that. They go to the Casey house. It's like I want that house too, but I think crazy enough, a lot of times like when you see someone doesn't have this, they try to give them the bare minimum thing or something. It's like, and then it's like you'll see the living spaces that they're trying to give them. It's like, what the heck? These are people.
Exactly.
What the, like, this don't make no sense. Oh, I'm getting mad. But the thing is, it don't make no dang on sense. And it's like, these are actually people. But so it's like, I want to have like you going to see the nicest house on the block and it's theirs. Yeah. And the thing is, youth, like young women, is going to be in there. And you're like, yeah, they live in grand. Yeah, they live in grand because they're people and they deserve this.
Yes.
And the thing is, I want to show them that before y'all try to act like they not that and then try to give them scraps off the, you ain't going to play around with them.
Well, even if you don't win the lottery, you sound passionate about it. It's coming through.
It's getting done.
It's coming through.
Y'all going to see it in the next few years. It's getting done. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, but the thing is if I win the lottery though, it's gonna be many of them houses.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm like,
I feel like you can still do it without, because the passion, the passion of it all.
Because you're gonna get the unrestricted grant, and then you're gonna be able to and pay for the houses. That's what women empowerment is all about.
It is, and also being a part of our community, we understand what we need. So that's why it's like right now, I appreciate you coming on and giving us your perspective as a youth, as a young woman in Buffalo. So, like I mentioned, March is Women's History Month, but we gonna keep on keeping on.
Keep on.
Yes.
Keeping on.
So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Randle, for coming.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Yes. Thank you all. And before we forget, we are going to have a book. As you all know, we shouted a book. So this is Michelle Obama. Actually, I know. This ain't something I gotta go into too much. But she has The Light We Carry. Make sure y'all go check this out. She is the first, I'm about to get messed up on my first, but the first lady who is an African American, right? And so we all know Michelle. She's very influential in all of our lives. But this is the book we are shouting out from Second Chapter Bookstore. Yes.
Stephanie on last time.
Yes. The one, she is Stephanie Pete. She owns the Second Chapter Bookstore. And so I want to thank you all for coming on and joining us for the last video in women's history. Y'all, we want to thank you, and as we always say, see you in the future.